For number 10, we have Amber Rose. This model and rapper was once dating Kanye West between 2008 and 2010. In fact, she dated the rapper right before Kim, which is already a recipe for drama. In 2015, she tweeted to the famous family and referred to them as the Kardashians, which she has expressed as immature years later. But this is nothing compared to the deep history rooted between them, as Amber believes Kanye's album titled My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was about her, with some hinting that Kanye cheated on Amber with Kim. In 2012, Amber told the New York Post that Kanye can't be faithful, and it's not with just one person, but with a lot, before adding he's unfaithful with a lot of different women, and she just got to a point where her heart couldn't take it anymore. And in another interview with Star Magazine, she even called out Kim by her name and claimed that Kim is one of the main reasons why her and Kanye are not together, and labeled her as a homewrecker. At the time, Kim was dating Reggie Bush, as Amber suggests that both her and Reggie were being played by Kim and Kanye. Apparently, Kim would send pictures which we could only speculate to be suggestive to Kanye, and Amber found out, which of course angered her and told Kim to stop and not be that person. Kim allegedly never responded. However, over the recent years, Amber has actually seemed to be defending Kim in some situations, so maybe one day or even in a different universe things will be different. And for number 9, we have Pink. This artist is not only a very talented singer, but she's also a known women's rights activist. One particular incident where Pink called out Kim was following the birth of her second child, saying, "Following the birth of your child, many mothers may share pictures of their nursery or family bonding," but Kim posted a mirror selfie where she was seen wearing her birthday suit with black bars to cover just a sliver. She took it to Twitter to share her criticism, and she wrote, "Shout out to all the women across the world using their brains, their strength, their work ethic, their talent, their magic that they were born with, the only thing they possess. It may not ever bring you as much attention or banknotes as using your body, but women like you don't need that type of attention," before continuing her statement promoting self-respect and pride. For number 8, we have the Jenner kids. More specifically, Mason Disick, who was the son of Kourtney and Scott, and Northwest, Kim and Kanye's daughter. Back in 2020, Scott and Kourtney actually had to take down Mason's Instagram account after he was talking to fans and even spilled some of the family secrets. Rumors at the time were hinting at Kylie and Travis getting back together, so Mason took it as his responsibility to say that Kylie and Travis are not together on his livestream. And within hours, his parents took down his account, and within 24 hours, Mason set up a TikTok account where he live streamed some more. One viewer asked him where his Instagram account went, and he responded by saying it got deleted because he was too young. Because he went viral, before adding he would have had 2.7 million followers by now if the account was kept up. As of North, she of course is Kanye's daughter, so I can guess you can put the two dots together, as she is as outspoken as her father. In one scene featured in their reality show, Kim calls out North for telling Kendall that she hated her Met Gala outfit, as she told Kendall to her face that she loved it. And in another instance, Kim was filming a video for her Instagram story when you could hear North in the background question her mom about changing her voice while filming. Kim denied this, but Penelope was seen nodding her head, agreeing with North. She also recently went viral for ripping apart other celebrities' outfits from the Met Gala, even saying that Pete Davidson's outfit looked like he was going to the gas station. There is so much more these kids have shared, it honestly could be its own video itself. And for number 7, we have Rihanna. This one is honestly kind of funny because it seems like for years now, Rihanna has shown her dislike towards the family, more specifically Kendall Jenner. This first started in 2012 when Kendall tweeted, "If Rihanna does not perform Complicated tomorrow, I am gonna be very upset. #fave song." Rihanna saw this and responded by saying, "Well, don't come." And during the 2018 Met Gala, she even talked about Kendall's figure, calling her a stick figure. The singer has also accused Kendall of being a copycat trendsetter and has called the entire family privileged and entitled. Many speculate this hatred Rihanna has towards Kendall specifically is because both ladies have been tied to A$AP Rocky. They dated for a brief time that roughly started in mid-2016, and in July of 2017, the couple went public. But just a few months later, they called it quits, apparently over difficulties with scheduling. And if you don't know, A$AP Rocky and Rihanna were rumored to have first begun dating back in 2013, but it faded, and 7 years later, they were reunited. The rapper has often referred to Rihanna as the love of his life, as they have also welcomed 2 kids together. And for number 6, we have Lily Reinhart. This actress is best known for her role as Betty Cooper in Riverdale, and she has publicly spoken about her struggles with her own self-image, as she has experienced body dysmorphia, and she has voiced her frustrations with the glorification of extreme thinness. And back in 2022, she wasn't afraid to voice her opinion on Kim Kardashian and her Met Gala outfit, which she wore Marilyn Monroe's iconic Happy Birthday, Mr. President sheer rhinestone-covered dress. Kim has openly admitted to having to lose 16 pounds in 2 to 3 weeks in order to even have a chance to squeeze into this dress that was not made for her body proportions. And Lily wasn't having it, as it appeared Kim was glorifying disordered eating. So the actress took it to her Instagram story, releasing a long statement with her opinions as she went off. She said what Kim did was so wrong and so effed up on hundreds of levels, before stating, to openly admit to starving yourself for the sake of the Met Gala when you know very well that millions of young men and women are looking up to you and listening to your every word. The ignorance is otherworldly and disgusting. Please stop supporting these stupid, harmful celebrities whose entire images revolve around their bodies. I am not generally an angry person, but I swear to God the toxicity in this industry sometimes really gets to me, and I have to do my little Instagram story rants to release my rage. And for number 5, we have Barack Obama. You heard me right, the former US president has even spoken up about the Kardashians. During an interview with Amazon, he was discussing the toxicity of today's pop culture when he mentioned the names of the Kardashians. He stated, there was not that window into the lifestyle of the rich and famous. Kids weren't monitoring every day what Kim Kardashian was wearing or where Kanye West was going on vacation, and thinking that somehow that was a mark of success. Obama then referenced his childhood by saying, I don't think people went around saying to themselves, I need a 10,000 square feet house. We weren't exposed to things we didn't have in the same way kids these days are. And according to US Magazine, he was previously quoted by Michelle saying he prefers his kids not to watch this reality TV family show. Back when Kris Jenner actually had a talk show, she used her platform to respond to his claims by sharing that the former president seemed perfectly comfortable hanging out with his rich celebrities in their extravagant homes when he is raising millions of dollars for his campaign. She thought it was odd he accused Kim and Kanye for influencing a generation of youngsters to be obsessed with wealth and celebrity. Surprisingly, there's actually a few more times where Obama has made his opinions on the family pretty clear. For number 4, we have Chloe Grace Moretz. This actress has actually shared similar opinions as Pink, as she was also vocal about Kim's mirror selfie, which, if you already forgot, showcased the influencer in her birthday suit. Well, after Chloe saw this picture, she responded to the post by tweeting, I truly hope you realize how important setting goals are for young women, teaching them we have so much more to offer than just our bodies. And Kim didn't necessarily like what the actress had to say, which prompted her to respond as she wrote, let's all welcome at Chloe G. Moretz to Twitter, since no one knows who she is. Your nylon cover is cute, boo. Funny because this response was not only sassy, but literally didn't touch on any of the points Chloe called out. I mean, the family themselves are controversial for setting unrealistic body standards and continue to lie about procedures they have received, so this definitely isn't the first or last time they will be shamed for what makes them famous, and that of course is their body. For number 3, we have Kanye West. I can't believe we made it this far down our list without mentioning too much about this rapper. Of course, he dated and married Kim as they share multiple kids together. Although he himself is very controversial, he is also quite outspoken. He has often discussed his disapproval towards Kim's parenting, as he accused her and Kris Jenner for pushing their daughters into the Playboy scene, or in other words, objectifying them. But hold on to that thought because it will come up again in the next point. It's no secret he doesn't like how Kim allows their kids to have social media, but one video in particular he believed was posted to antagonize him. The video was of North wearing makeup on TikTok. He has also leaked text messages between him and Kim, which their children are often a subject of. And during the former couple's custody battle in February 2022, Kanye revealed some big allegations. In his deleted statement that was posted onto Instagram, he stated that Kim accused him of putting a hit out on her, before continuing to type in all caps explaining how he begged to go to his daughter's party, was accused of being on substances, and suddenly was also accused of stealing and wanting to harm Kim. He continued to add, these ideas can lead him or someone to get locked up, as they, in his words, play like that with black men's lives. Obviously, there are plenty of more statements Kanye has shared, but that could also be a video of its own. And for number 2, we have Ray J. He is half the reason why the Kardashians are even relevant, because of the infamous tape he and Kim made back in 2003 that surfaced the internet in 2007. He claims that Kris Jenner was behind the leak, as she apparently watched multiple tapes and chose which one to leak. Ray J told Daily Mail that he never possessed any of the original tapes or any similar films. Instead, he suggested the family has them, and he has never leaked anything. He also said this whole thing was a partnership, and the whole thing has always been a deal between him, Kim and Kris since the very beginning. Allegedly, there were also contracts signed by Ray J and the Kardashians for all 3 tapes, and he is tired of having his name dragged and blamed publicly. And to refer back to Kanye's Playboy statement, well, the same year the tapes were out, Kris pressured Kim into doing a photo shoot with Playboy that was captured on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. In fact, Ray J regrets his role in the release, as it was apparently his idea after he saw the response to Paris Hilton's tape. And due to the contract, he wasn't able to speak up and defend himself, as he believes the family wants him to continue to be labeled as the bad guy. But since he has a daughter now, it hurts him to think his daughter is going to go through life thinking her dad was someone he wasn't, which explains why he has begun speaking up on this issue. And for number 1, we have Caitlyn Jenner. Although viewers were able to see the relationship between Kris and Caitlyn, who was formerly known as Bruce before transitioning, they have made it pretty obvious there is a feud between them. Since the former couple separated in 2013, it hasn't been drama-free. In 2015, Caitlyn told Diane she identified as a woman, which apparently was the first time the Kardashian and Jenners heard Caitlyn say that she was transgender. That same year, Caitlyn did a Vanity Fair cover story in which she spoke negatively about her marriage to Kris, and even claimed the reason why they divorced was 20% gender and 80% the way she was treated, before adding how a lot of times Kris wasn't so nice and people would apparently see how Caitlyn was mistreated, as she apparently controlled the money and other responsibilities. And in 2017, she released a tell-all book titled The Secrets of My Life that didn't help the feud going on, because Caitlyn alleges that Kris was definitely not surprised by her transition, as she made it out to be, because Caitlyn apparently told Kris she dressed like a woman, as she did it several times in front of her while they were married. The two never really talk anymore, according to Caitlyn, and if there is communication needed between them, her manager often reaches out to Kris, before admitting that she is quite sad, especially because the former couple went through a lot together.
Kim K's infamous ugly crying face has become an iconic meme on the internet. This memorable facial expression made its debut in the early 2010s on her reality TV show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. One of the most notable instances was during season 2 of Kim and Kourtney Take New York in 2012, when she was in tears over her marriage to Kris Humphries, which lasted 72 days. This particular moment quickly became a widely circulated GIF and reaction image due to its hilarity, but the face made a reappearance during season 4 of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, when Kim emotionally discussed her late father. Despite the heartfelt nature of her crying, the face had the unintended effect of adding humor to the moment. It resurfaced again when she famously lost her earring in a Bora Bora pool, a story we'll explore further down the list. These instances serve as reminders that Kim's emotions, whether sincere or dramatic, often become secondary to her very important public image. The release of Kim's intimate tape is a humongous part of her public narrative. While it undoubtedly catapulted her to fame, it remains a source of mixed emotions for her. She's expressed regret about it multiple times over the years. But the tape's exposure was a pivotal moment in Kim's life, one that garnered significant attention on the internet, but not necessarily for the right reasons. Even if you haven't seen the tape, you've likely heard about it, as it became a pop culture sensation, not just back then, but to this day. It serves as a strong reminder that not all paths to stardom are filled with pride and satisfaction. Instead, this moment in Kim's life highlights the dichotomy of fame, where a single incident can lead you to both fame and regret. Kim Kardashian's attempt to wear Marilyn Monroe's legendary dress to the Met Gala sparked global outrage. The dress was originally tailored to Monroe's unique body shape and was quite literally a garment of historical significance. Kim's decision to wear it to a modern event was seen by many as an act of disrespect towards an icon of beauty and fashion, and a slap in the face to Monroe's legacy. That's not to mention the subsequent damage to the dress, which includes lost gems, pearls, a split zipper, and broken stitches, which only added to the embarrassment for not only her, but those who had to tailor the dress for her. This situation underscores the importance of acknowledging the cultural and historical context of certain artifacts and fashion pieces. It's a stark example of what can happen when the pursuit of attention and shock value overshadows your respect for the past. Kim Kardashian's encounters with Anna Wintour, the highly influential editor-in-chief of Vogue, have been far from smooth, revealing the nuanced dynamics within the realms of both fashion and celebrity culture. One of the most notable interactions between the two was the controversial decision to feature Kim and Kanye on the cover of Vogue. which sparked considerable public backlash. In response to the criticism, Winter utilized her trademark wit to address the situation. She suggested that continuously featuring tasteful celebrities on magazine covers could lead to monotony. This instance shows the deliberate provocations that often accompany decisions within the fashion and celebrity world, where calculated choices can stir both admiration and outrage. But that's not it. Another chapter in the Kim Winter saga unfolded during Paris Fashion Week when Kim arrived at an event 50 minutes late and engaged in disruptive behavior. This occasion marked a display of indifference from Winter, who appeared in photographs with her arms crossed and facing away from Kim. This shows a huge sense of disapproval and hinted at a lack of tolerance for Kim's interesting behavior. I mean, this is a celebrity of Kim's stature. This shows that it's a powerful reminder that not everyone within the fashion world is bedazzled by the cult of celebrity. Not even amidst the glitz and glamour of high-profile events, punctuality and decorum are expected, regardless of how famous you are. I mean, it shows that in the eyes of certain figures, like Anna Wintour, respect and admiration must be earned through actions and not merely granted based on celebrity status. I mean, it adds a level of authenticity to a world often associated with being superficial. The televised proposal of Kim K and Kris Humphries shows that it's a compelling case study that shows the intricate ways in which reality television can influence and script even the most intimate and personal moments in a person's life. I mean, this proposal was broadcast to millions of viewers as part of Kim's reality show, but it shows the extent of what these shows can orchestrate and manipulate into what would have been a deeply personal event. Humphries himself admitted that he initially envisioned a private and intimate setting for the proposal, one free from the intrusion of cameras and the pressures of a scripted narrative. However, the reality TV show machinery had different plans, pushing the couple to stage the proposal in a manner that would captivate and entertain the audience. This revelation came to light during their official divorce proceedings, where Kris divulged that certain scenes related to the proposal and wedding were not as spontaneous as they might have appeared. To Kim's dissatisfaction, her initial reaction was deemed less than ideal, necessitating the recreation of the proposal for a more dramatic effect. This shows what a fine line that reality TV treads between authenticity and scripted entertainment. It shows the pressure placed on individuals to conform to a narrative designed for ratings, often at the expense of their genuine emotions and desires. It underscores the challenges of maintaining a sense of reality in an industry where drama often takes precedence over genuine unscripted moments. Not even reality TV, but TV as a whole, the lines have been blurred between truth and entertainment. It's strategically rearranged to serve the demands of whoever's watching. The infamous flower bombing incident occurred during a red carpet event which generated widespread headlines. However, it was later revealed that the whole incident was a completely organized publicity stunt. The Kardashians confirmed the planned nature of the event in their documentary, undermining the initial impression that Kim had been caught off guard. Her claim of ignorance and shock at the time, which she expressed as the craziest and most unexpected thing to happen to her, raised questions about the authenticity of the incident. In reality, her media team had discussed the event beforehand, ensuring that she was well aware of what would occur. The incident allowed her to make headlines for both her new perfume line and the flower bombing itself, highlighting how celebrity events are carefully orchestrated just to garner media coverage. Kim's venture into the realm of promoting diet-reducing candies shed light on her profound disconnection from the everyday realities of her audience. Her endorsement of these candies, which claimed to induce a feeling of fullness and support extended periods of fasting, immediately ignited a firestorm of criticism and controversy. The episode which it was featured in became a poignant example of how a celebrity's actions can inadvertently perpetrate harmful societal norms and insensitivity to crucial health-related issues. Critics were quick to pounce on Kim's promotion of such products, arguing that her actions indirectly supported the toxic diet culture that has plagued modern society. By endorsing candies that promise to suppress hunger and enable prolonged fasting, she seemed to endorse behaviors that could potentially lead to eating disorders, which is a huge concern for public health. In an era where public figures are subject to heightened scrutiny, this instance underlines the glaring lack of sensitivity to the possible repercussions of one's endorsements. It is essential to acknowledge that Kim Kardashian's intentions might have been benign, but believing she was offering her audience a solution to their body issues and weight is a big problem. The episode as a whole underscores the importance of considering the broader implications of doing something that might be viewed as benign. Celebrities, knowingly or not, hold a position of influence that reaches millions of people. Therefore, their actions and endorsements can significantly impact societal perceptions attitudes, and behaviors. This is a valuable lesson in understanding the evolving roles of celebrities in shaping societal perspectives. It highlights the immense responsibility that comes with fame and the need to exercise great care and consideration when using your platform to endorse products or promote practices that can profoundly affect the well-being and mental health of individuals. Kim Kardashian's dramatic reaction to losing her $75,000 earring during a vacation in Bora Bora became a memorable moment in her public narrative. The incident raised several questions, primarily concerning her choice to wear such valuable earrings during a tropical vacation. Wearing expensive jewelry in a pool, where the earring could easily be retrieved, appeared impractical to many. The incident's conclusion, with Kylie Jenner diving down 10 feet to recover the earring, adding a layer of potential fakeness to the entire episode. This instance showcases how Kim's lifestyle and actions often defy the expectations of ordinary individuals. It's a reminder of the lavishness of her life and the unconventional situations that result from it. It also shows the contrast between the experiences of the super wealthy and the everyday challenges faced by the majority. I mean, even small dilemmas can become larger than life spectacles with Kim Kardashian. In 2019, she found herself at the center of a firestorm of controversy when she attempted to brand her shapewear bodysuit as a kimono. This seemingly innocuous branding choice sent shockwaves through the public and was widely perceived as an act of cultural appropriation that demonstrated disrespect towards Japanese culture. Kim's decision to redefine a traditional Japanese garment, which holds deep cultural significance, struck a chord of discord and generated intense backlash. The backlash Kim faced was rooted in a widespread feeling of insensitivity and a disregard for cultural heritage. Accusations of cultural appropriation rang loud, and many felt that she was casually co-opting an integral part of Japanese culture for her personal gain. The global response to Kim's rebranding attempt was swift and vocal, with activists and the general public calling her out for her actions. This showed the potential consequences that celebrities may face for their cultural insensitivity. Ultimately, faced with mounting pressure and the undeniable public outcry, Kim Kardashian made the decision to rename her product line to Skims. This ended up being a positive for Kim Kardashian, as Skims recently partnered with the NBA, but it still demonstrated that individuals, even high-profile celebrities, can no longer act with impunity in a globalized world where actions and decisions have far-reaching implications. Kim Kardashian's controversial interview with Variety raised questions and anger about her remarks, which were perceived as hypocritical. She suggested that the best advice for women in business was to get up and work, seemingly disregarding the complex dynamics of the modern workplace. Her comments seemed out of touch with the realities faced by working women. She appeared to imply that women weren't already working hard. Her statement brought attention to the need for public figures to be mindful of their words, especially on topics as sensitive as gender and labor. Recognizing the value of empathy and understanding the challenges that women encounter in the workforce is essential in a time when issues of gender equality and diversity take center stage in public discourse. Her subsequent public apology on Good Morning America reflected an awareness of the potential consequences of her statements and serves as a reminder that even celebrities can learn from their mistakes and acknowledge the impact of their words.
At number 10 is Bethany Frankel. The television personality, entrepreneur, and author has done her fair share of calling out the Kardashians' offbeat behavior. In September of 2022, she spoke out about the Kardashian-Jenner family's irresponsible and reckless use of photo editing on social media, calling it destructive. She added in an article with TMZ, "The more we see of these images, the more we think they're real. It becomes a false ideal. It's not inspirational, not aspirational, and it creates eating disorders, insecurity, and depression. It's a serious thing." Frankel also threw some shade at Kourtney Kardashian's sponsored wedding, ending with her taking Kim's side in the feud. In a TikTok, the Real Housewives of New York alum announced that she's on Team Kim amid the sisters' Dolce & Gabbana debacle. In the video, she says, "So Kourtney's commercial, aka Wedding by Dolce & Gabbana, was sponsored. Everybody was dressed, the trip was paid for, Kris Jenner grabbed every lira off the ground she could grab. Then Kim ended up doing a campaign with Dolce that was oddly familiar. Although Kourtney is upset with Kim for partnering with the fashion house just months after her own Dolce-themed wedding, Frankel argues that the Poosh founder wouldn't have been offered the opportunity without her younger sister saying, "Kim was the one who laid the groundwork for all the Kardashians and the Jenners." She said, so she who makes the gold makes the rules. Dolce is gonna want Kim. She's the most famous Kardashian." She continued, "Private planes don't grow on trees. Kris is gonna grab all those nickels she can get and get all those deals. Don't hate the player, hate the game." At number 9 is Shayna Moakler, a model and celebrity Big Brother contestant better known for sharing her now ex-husband Travis Barker with Kourtney Kardashian. For some context, Shayna and Travis were married from 2004 to 2006 and share a 17-year-old son named Alabama and 19-year-old son Landon, and Shayna's 24-year-old daughter from a previous marriage, Atiana. All three of their kids are super close to Travis. It's no secret or shock that Shayna isn't a huge fan of the Kardashians, more specifically Kourtney, whom Travis married in 2022, having 3 kids of her own with him, Mason, Penelope, and Rain, all of whom now live as a blended family with her, Travis, and his children. Shayna claims that since their union, saying Kourtney has put a wedge in her relationship with her kids, and said that her family is broken because of the Kardashians. In an interview with TMZ, Shayna said, "My family's broken because of this family, and now my kids are alienated from each other because of another sister in this family." She continued by clarifying, "I don't care about Travis and Kourtney in any capacity whatsoever. All I care about are my children, mending and healing my relationship with my children and moving forward. I don't even think twice about them." At number 8 is Kim Kardashian. Sisterly love is oftentimes confusing. The two have been reported to get into fights so bad it left both of them bleeding, which isn't incredibly surprising for sisters, but maybe for sisters who are also adults. In more recent events, the sisters' new topic to fight about is their matching Dolce & Gabbana brand deals. Just 4 months after the brand hosted Kourtney's wedding in May of 2022, Kim decided to work with the designer joining the fashion show of theirs, which prompted Kourtney to accuse Kim of using her wedding as a business opportunity. Even if she was, obviously, this drama is a business opportunity. Do you think we're dumb? In last week's episode, Kourtney broke down in tears as she claimed Kim had chosen business over family and only sees dollar signs. She said, "This isn't even really about business for me. It's just like, this is my wedding. While we were at our wedding, Kim was having these conversations with Dolce and I didn't know about it." She continued saying, "I feel like there's such an abundance of opportunities. It's not about business. There's just so much and it takes precedence over hurting your sister. It's legit copying my wedding." Kim's rebuttal to this was saying, "Oh, she got so mad. She said, 'You're trying to copy me.' Kim recounts, "She always tries to hate on the side. She's such a hater," while also adding that Kourtney has copied her countless times, so she doesn't understand why this is such a big deal. Khloe Kardashian sided with Kim, who called Kourtney jealous and says that she needs to be left to pout in the corner. "I don't know where this is coming from, but it's okay. You let someone pout in the corner, you don't entertain it, and you move on because you don't get jealous of your family," she says. At number 7 is gynecologists. Gynecologists hate her. Now, not a celebrity, but probably the most important person speaking out about Kourtney on this list, Dr. Jen Gunter, a gynecologist and author, called out Kourtney Kardashian's recent vitamin grift and the conspiracy surrounding genital odor. For $30, you can receive a non-FDA approved vitamin C gum with empty claims. Gunter says, "Anyone who suggests that you aren't fresh or need to be improved is a misogynist and awful person." Maddie Dan, a 30-year-old UK doctor, also speaks about sexual health on TikTok, told BBC Newsbeat that she's worried that Lemmy-Pur will trick consumers into thinking that it's entirely normal functions or problems. She added that there's no such thing as unclean feminine parts, and considering that they self-clean. At number 6 is Scott Disick. Kourtney's ex-husband, who she divorced amidst cheating rumors, is apparently not too happy with how Kourtney handled Father's Day this year. According to new reports, Disick was hurt by the Kardashians' pregnancy reveal over Father's Day weekend, even though he was informed of the pregnancy before the announcement was made. The Daily Mail reports that while Disick is over Kourtney, the fact that she didn't acknowledge him over Father's Day weekend, instead only hearing from her a pregnancy announcement, hurt him, unsurprisingly. But you know, finding out he was cheating probably didn't feel very nice for her. The Daily Mail reported that Scott has known for a minute that Kourtney was pregnant. He found out through her family, who didn't want him to be caught off guard. Although Scott is over Kourtney, it felt like a jab in the heart when Scott was with his kids yesterday and saw Kourtney's Father's Day post. To mention Travis and her dad but leave out the father of her own children was completely disrespectful. She knows what an amazing father he is to her kids, and she could have at least had an inkling of decency. He did not get a text message, phone call, or anything. At number 5 is Selena Gomez. Amidst the vague and unneeded drama between Hailey Bieber and Selena Gomez over a TikTok video where Hailey allegedly referenced the fact that Selena being body shamed was due to God's timing, as well as Selena posting a video saying that she accidentally laminated her brows too much. Hours later, Kylie posting a FaceTime screenshot with Hailey focusing on her brows with the caption, "This was an accident?" over her own eyebrows. This all caused the internet to refer to Hailey and Kylie as mean girls. Aren't we all adults? Why is this even happening right now? Anyway, Kourtney decided that it was her duty to choose a side in the mess, doing so through her new promo video for her latest product, where she used Selena's song "The Heart Wants What It Wants" behind a TikTok showing off the product. Whether or not the use of this song is purely a coincidence remains unknown, but fans think it meant that Kourtney had chosen to be on Team Selena in the feud with Kylie Jenner and Hailey. Eventually, the internet hate toward Hailey got so bad, including multiple threats against the model, causing Selena to release a message telling everybody to calm down. At number 4 is Corey Gamble. The internet personality and Kris Jenner's current boo has been part of the Kardashian-Jenner family since 2014. While his relationship with Kris seems to have been pretty stable over the past 6 years, he and the other Kardashian-Jenners have had quite dramatic spats. Recently, fans have noticed that Corey and Kylie seem particularly close, yet his relationship with Kourtney or the rest of the sisters isn't so strong. But it hasn't always been like that. Up until last year, Corey and Kourtney reportedly shared a friendship despite the arguments he had with her sisters. Kourtney and Corey famously fell out in 2019 after Corey and Scott Disick argued over how to discipline Kourtney's daughter Penelope. When Penelope scratched a nanny, Corey reacted by strongly suggesting that they spank her as punishment, saying that if Penelope were to scratch me, I'm whipping her, and later adding, "Give her a spanking for sure." The whole thing turned into a huge huge argument in a public restaurant, with Kourtney finally saying, "He will never be with my kids alone, and if he does it in front of any of us, there will be an issue." At number 3 is Kris Jenner. Kourtney's safe from no one's opinions, especially not her mother's. Kris took a brutal jab at Kourtney Kardashian during her oldest daughter's tense feud with her rival sister Kim. During the preview of an upcoming episode of The Kardashians, Kris was shown delivering a toast at Kim's 42nd birthday dinner, telling Kim, "You are pretty much the leader of our family." And although this is true, this caused Kourtney to look at Travis obviously annoyed with the fact that Kris made the comment. This came about during the feud Kourtney was having with Kim about the aforementioned Dolce & Gabbana drama, and this comment made by Kris made it clear whose side the momager was on. Our runner-up is Kourtney Kardashian. The second of her sisters on the list come from Khloe's comments revealing she won't let her daughter True Thompson have sleepovers at her auntie Kourtney's house. This is more than comfort levels. Of course you get to choose where your child goes, but admitting this publicly puts a smear on Kourtney's name. However, Kourtney knew that this was going to come up because she asked Khloe when she was hooked up to a lie detector test. During the lie detector interview hosted by Vanity Fair, Kourtney grilled Khloe from everything about her ex-partner Tristan to what she thought about her wedding dress. Then she inquired about the aforementioned sleepover, saying, "Are you ever going to let True sleep over at my house?" To which Khloe replied, "Probably not." Kourtney then said, "And is this because we have too much fun?" To which Khloe simply said, "No." Kourtney replying, "What is the reason then?" And Khloe saying, "I don't think we have enough time on this show for what the reason is." Previously, Khloe explained on the Ellen DeGeneres show that she likes True to have a lot of boundaries, and it comes from being a strict parent. She also added that not all of her siblings are the same, but neglected to say which ones were worse than others, although it seems pretty clear that she may not trust Kourtney all that much. Our number 1 spot goes to Kourtney Kardashian's ex-boyfriend Yoons Benjamin, who she dated for a year in 2018. After Kourtney branded him as toxic and negative on her show while in a discussion with Khloe, who asked, "Do you think he may have been a bit negative for you?" Kourtney saying, "Yeah." She also admitted that her ex still texts her occasionally, but added, "I'm feeling really content with my own way of life." After hearing this, Yoons felt the need to take to social media to defend himself. In a text post he made to his Instagram story, he said he made a vague reference to the words said about him and said, "Do yourself a favor, surround yourself with those who speak of visions, ideas, goals, and growth, not those who sit and gossip about others. And if you do find yourself in that situation, excuse yourself and walk away. The game ends when you choose to leave such a gathering."
Coming in at number 10, Kris Jenner's bad Photoshop. The matriarch of the Kardashian family came under fire over a specific age-defying filter that she put on a selfie and a video that her makeup artist posted on Instagram. And this is not just a little airbrushing we're talking about here. No, this filter literally looks like it's AI. Because as you can probably guess, there is no way Kris looked like that at 67. Her makeup artist took to Instagram to post a video of her with a new glam look. But it wasn't long before people accused the two of them of using extensive amounts of Photoshop and criticizing them for trying to make Kris look so much younger than she actually is. While this is an extreme example of Kris editing her appearance, it's far from the first time she's been criticized for doing so. In 2014, she met Gordon Ramsay when she was promoting her new cookbook, and the two of them both posted photos of the interaction online. But these photos were shockingly different. In the version that Kris posted, the two of them are heavily photoshopped and she has noticeably smoother skin. But in the version that Gordon posted, it's a little more realistic. Number 9, Kourtney Kardashian. A few years ago, an unedited photo of Kourtney in a leopard print bikini went viral. Of course, she freaked out because the picture was posted supposedly by mistake. It was said that her crisis management team desperately tried to remove it from the internet, and they even sent out legal threats to people who were circulating it. The Kardashians' chief marketing officer released a statement claiming that the photo was taken of Kourtney during a private family gathering, and it was an assistant who posted it to social media by mistake. Now, this was a very controversial moment for her, and fans were divided over how they felt about it. Some of them accused her of setting a bad example for women by trying to get that picture removed. Others complimented her beauty and said that they loved the photo even if she didn't mean to post it. Unfortunately, trying to hide the photo from public view only ended up encouraging more people to seek it out. The irony is that it was actually a very nice shot of her smiling beside a pool. In fact, she looked really great. But of course, some people use that as just another opportunity to try to bash her appearance. The whole thing was very upsetting, because if you think about it, Kourtney has probably spent her entire life having to hear unsolicited opinions about her body. Number 8, diet suppressant lollipops. Kim Kardashian came under fire for promoting Flat Tummy Co.'s appetite suppressant lollipops to her millions of Instagram followers. She posted a picture of herself with the Diet Aid candy and wrote, "They're literally unreal." While Kim has posted sponsored ads for weight loss products before, things like meal replacement shakes, the whole appetite suppressant thing falls into a different, far more contentious category. The lollipops contain sadiryl, an extract from natural plants that is said to control cravings, food intake, and weight. But while the active ingredient is technically safe, many nutrition experts agree that appetite suppressants are a short-term, ultimately ineffective diet strategy that can promote harmful eating habits and exacerbate already existing disorders. The fact that the company product comes in lollipop form seems geared toward a younger consumer, which just makes it all the more troubling. Not only that, but relying on a suppressant is a distraction from focusing on healthy diet and exercise. So yeah, it is not a great option for people in the long term. Number 7. Kim's criticism. The reality star got an extreme amount of backlash on Instagram and Twitter, all because of those lollipops. Actress Jameela Jamil was one of the main celebrities to call her out. In response to the post, she wrote, "You are a terrible and toxic influence on young girls. I admire their mother's branding capabilities. She is an exploitative but innovative genius. However, this family makes me feel actual despair over what women are reduced to." Jameela went on to say, "Maybe don't take appetite suppressors and eat enough to fuel your brain and work hard and be successful, and to play with your kids and have fun with your friends, and to have something to say about your life at the end other than I had a flat stomach." And Kim got plenty of criticism from her own followers too, who accused her of promoting these horrible disorders. One person wrote, "Wow, I have lost all respect for Kim Kardashian, promoting appetite suppressants when it's literally Mental Health Awareness Week. There are so many people who battle or have battled with a disorder, and she is making not eating look like it's trendy, disgusting, and selfish." Number 6. Damaging Marilyn Monroe's dress. Although Kim is used to making questionable fashion choices, many people felt that she sank to a new low when she decided to wear the famous Marilyn dress. This historical item was actually worn by Marilyn Monroe herself when she was singing Happy Birthday to President Kennedy back in 1962. It was lent out to her by Ripley's Museum. Scott Fortner, a collector who shared photos of the dress in a blog post after Kim had returned it, posted photos which appeared to show stretched fabric and missing crystals on the back. Not only that, but while she was being interviewed on the red carpet, Kim said that when she first tried the dress on, it didn't actually fit her. So to ensure that the delicate fabric wouldn't tear, she dropped 16 pounds ahead of the event in order to try and squeeze into it. She then changed into a replica once she got to the entrance of the party because she could not walk up the museum steps of the Met Gala without ripping the original. But the fact that she was even allowed to wear it was enough to anger fans everywhere. It was bought by the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum in a 2016 auction for $4.8 million, and it's usually kept in a darkened, temperature-controlled vault at 40 to 50% humidity to try to preserve the delicate fabric. So of course people were fuming that Kim permanently damaged the dress, especially because when you consider the design of it, the fabric is quite literally irreparable. Number 5. Lily Reinhart's comments. The actress spoke out about the extreme diet that Kim did in order to fit into the dress, the same one that was once worn by Marilyn Monroe. While chatting with W Magazine, she said that attending the Met Gala is always fun, but after going again this year, she doesn't think she'll be invited back. Quote, "I said a certain something about a certain person in a certain dress. I've always wanted to stand for something. While I don't like it if one comment by me turns into 17 articles in People magazine, I never overthink what I post. It has to be a true representation of how I feel. And I would say that whether I had 100 followers or 100 million. At the time, Lily criticized Kim's extreme diet and said, "To openly admit to starving yourself for the sake of the Met Gala when you know very well that millions of young men and women are looking up to you and listening to your every word. The ignorance is otherworldly disgusting," which is true considering that's the reason that a lot of people took issue with what Kim did at the Met. The controversy was not only about the fact that she lost weight to try to fit into this dress, it was about the fact that she gave a lengthy interview about how she tried to lose that weight. Number 4. Kylie's lip fillers. Kylie came under fire as a teen for getting lip injections to try and enhance her natural pout. For years, she denied this fact and simply said that she was overlining her lips with makeup to achieve this effect. She eventually capitalized on the speculation and released a product called the Kylie Lip Kit, where she assured fans that they could get similar results. But that didn't stop fans from noticing the drastic changes to her appearance in the more than 10 years since the show Keeping Up with the Kardashians aired in 2007. But after years of denying that she had lip fillers, the star eventually came clean about that particular cosmetic touch-up. During a 2015 episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Kylie admits, quote, "I have had temporary lip fillers. It's just an insecurity of mine and it's what I wanted to do. But it's a little bit sad when you look at why she got it done. Quote, I was 15 and I was insecure about my lips. I have really small lips. And it was like one of my first kisses and a guy was like, I didn't think you would be a good kisser because you have such small lips." She also admitted that she definitely made her lips a little too big at one point before her sisters pointed it out and said, "Kylie, you need to chill." And they were definitely right to let her know that it was becoming too much. Number 3. Using a wheelchair as a prop. In 2016, Kylie's December-January cover of Interview magazine came out with a lot of controversy. The cover and inside photos featured the reality star star posing in a golden wheelchair in a way that makes her look sort of like a doll. The then 18-year-old Kylie was dressed in a skin-tight black bodysuit and posed as though she were a mannequin staring off into space. But it wasn't the lack of clothing or the bondage theme that had people a little offended, it was the fact that she was posing in a wheelchair. Many found the shoot to be demeaning to those with disabilities. In response, several users took to Twitter to explain why it was so wrong. A wheelchair user by the name of Nylan Morton tweeted, "I will never forgive Kylie Jenner for doing that photo shoot in a wheelchair. That was ableist AF because it shows a society would rather support an able-bodied person acting disabled than actually support a disabled person talent. We deserve to be given opportunities and chances." Amidst the growing backlash, Interview magazine then released a statement defending those photos. They said, "The Kylie Jenner cover by Stephen Klein is a part of this tradition, placing Kylie in a variety of positions of power and control and exploring her image as an object of vast media scrutiny." But that was not enough to stop all the backlash. Number 2, Khloe's new face. Khloe came under fire when she posted a video to Instagram of her morning workout. She included clips of her gym moves as well as close-up shots of her face. Although most of the comments on the post were positive, some fans felt the need to give their negative opinions on her looks. People wrote things like, "What did you do to your face? And I really need to know who this woman is, she changed her whole face and body." But when someone commented simply, "Do you miss your old face?" Khloe actually responded. She simply said no. So rather than defending her appearance, she made it clear that she actually likes the way she looks now. When another person wrote, "Try without a filter," she replied saying, "What does a filter have to do with the workout, queen?" Sadly, Khloe had to address her changing appearance many times over the past couple of years, mostly because people think that she's had excessive plastic surgery. Though Khloe has only ever admitted to getting one cosmetic procedure done, that was her nose job. She talked about it on the Keeping Up with the Kardashians reunion special. She said, "For me, everyone says, oh my gosh, she's had her 3rd face transplant, but I've only had a nose job and everyone gets so upset, like why don't I talk about it? No one's ever asked me." She also revealed that she has done injections but not Botox because when she tried it, apparently her face responded horribly. And coming in at number 1, Kylie's bikini picture. In September of 2018, Kylie tweeted, "Last night I had cereal with milk for the first time. Life-changing." The post is still up to this day and it has reached 179,000 likes. At first no one was sure whether or not she was being serious, given that most people would have tried cereal and milk together or not had it at all. Even Seth Rogen called her out because he responded to her tweet saying, "Wait till you try peanut butter and jam." And other users followed suit with someone writing, "Wait till you try coffee with hot water," or "Wait till you try butter on toast." But fans were quick to call Kylie out, and one Twitter user by the name of Joseph Shepard even came through with evidence to prove she was lying. Apparently Kylie has posted a photo of a bowl of cereal on Instagram in 2013, and yes, the bowl had cereal, milk, and fruit in it, so obviously the internet remembers everything. But that is not all. In 2020, the reality star was also called out for posting Photoshop pictures on Instagram. She put up a series of pics in a bikini by the pool, but she left in some very obvious evidence of editing. In one photo, the edge of the pool she's standing by is completely warped, which is probably a result of her toning her leg. And Kylie quickly deleted the photos only to share them again, this time with the warped pool edge cropped out of the image. But of course, fans noticed a blunder and they also took screenshots. Taylor Swift is closing out 2023 on a high note because she's just become the first entertainer to ever earn Time's prestigious Person of the Year title. The news broke exactly 1 week before her 34th birthday, and that would have just given her something extra to celebrate. She graced 3 global covers of the magazine and sat down for a rare confessional interview where she talked about her life, her career, and all of her accolades over the years. But it's no surprise that one part of the interview is now what people are focused on. Taylor got straight to the point when talking about her age-old feud with Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, which reached its climax in 2016 after Kim released snippets purported to be a phone conversation between Kanye and Taylor, where they were talking about the lyric "I made that be famous." She then clapped back at the 2016 Grammys, saying, "There are going to be people along the way who are going to try to undercut your success or take credit for your accomplishments or your fame." This caused a massive scandal to erupt, and fans called Taylor a snake for seemingly lying that she never consented to using those lyrics. But it wasn't until 4 years later that the full phone call made the rounds on social media that finally exonerated Taylor of any wrongdoing. During the call, you can hear Kanye reassure her that the lyrics won't be about her and that he would conveniently leave out the fact that he was going to call her a B-word. So in the end, it was revealed that Taylor was telling the truth. Looking back on that scandal, Taylor said, "You have a fully manufactured frame job in an illegally recorded phone call which Kim Kardashian edited and put out to say to everyone that I was a liar." She described the situation saying that it took her down psychologically to a place that she had never been before. She said, I moved to a foreign country. I didn't leave a rental house for a year. I was afraid to get on phone calls. I pushed away most people in my life because I didn't trust anyone anymore. Then I went down really hard. She went on to release 2017's Reputation, partially in response to that scandal, which is an album she remembers as being met with uproar and skepticism. She felt that that moment of backlash was going to define her negatively for the rest of her life. She said, make no mistake, my career was taken away from me. In the interview, Taylor described her fallout with Kim and Kanye as being one of the two springboards for the success that she has today. The second one was having her life's work taken away from her by someone who hates her. She was referring to the 2020 sale of her album masters to Scooter Braun, who acquired them from the owner of Taylor's ex-label Big Machine Records, Scott Borchetta. She said, with the Scooter thing, my masters were being sold to someone who actively wanted them for nefarious reasons, in my opinion. I was so knocked on my A by the sale of that music and to whom it was sold. I was like, oh, they got me beat now, this is it, I don't know what to do. After a lot of public back and forth, Taylor decided to reclaim her lost albums by re-recording them one by one, a project that she is now 2/3 of the way through. Only her 2006 self-titled debut and Reputation are left. When speaking about this whole situation, she said, my response to anything that happens, good or bad, is to keep making things, keep making art, but I've also learned there's no point in actively trying to quote-unquote defeat your enemies. Trash takes itself out every single time. Though at the time, things did look truly hopeless for her. From 2006 to 2017, she released 6 studio albums under Big Machine Records. When her contract was coming to an end in 2018, her lawyers proposed that her masters be sold back to her, but Scooter Braun would only agree to that if she signed another 10-year contract with them. An agreement was never reached, and she called out Big Machine Record executives in a scathing social media post that said, for years I asked, pleaded for a chance to own my own work. Instead, I was given an opportunity to sign up to Big Machine Records and earn one album back at a time, one for every new one I turned in. I learned about Scooter Braun's purchase of my masters as it was announced to the world. All I could think about was the incessant manipulative bullying I've received at his hands for years. She even accused him of preventing her from performing her older songs at the 2019 AMAs. In the end, she never backed down and decided to re-record her earlier albums so she could finally own the masters. She left Big Machine to sign with Universal and embarked on a project to record like-for-like copies of her first 6 albums, all in order to reclaim ownership of the master recordings and devalue Scooter's investment, since any movies or ads looking to use her music would only be able to use the Taylor Swift-owned copies that she has nicknamed Taylor's version. And this worked out very well for her. In 2020, Scooter decided to sell her masters to Shamrock Holdings, a private equity firm owned by Disney. Taylor even went on to write a few songs about the situation, including My Tears Ricochet and Karma. So in the end, she was able to take back that creative control that she's always wanted. And when that dispute was publicized, it's safe to say that Scooter didn't have many fans left if he ever did before. Now, if you've ever wondered how Taylor feels about the process of re-releasing her first 6 albums, well, she said it's akin to something out of a fantasy adventure film, like collecting Horcruxes or Infinity Stones. But it turns out she wasn't immediately sure whether or not she wanted to embark on this whole quest. She said, I'd run into Kelly Clarkson and she would go, just redo it. My dad kept saying it to me too. I'd look at them and go, how can I possibly do that? No one wants to redo their homework if only on the way to school the wind blows your book report away. There was also a lot of other juicy information in this interview. Some people have been wondering since the Eras tour kicked off how Taylor is physically able to get through a 3-hour show every night, all while making it look completely effortless. In response, she explained that every day she would run on the treadmill singing the entire set list out loud, fast for fast songs and a jog or a fast walk for slow songs. She also started a fitness routine that was designed specially for her by her gym, which included strength conditioning and weights. She said, I had 3 months of dance training because I wanted to get it into my bones. I wanted to be so over-rehearsed that I could be silly with the fans and not lose my train of thought. Plus, Taylor says that she has completely ditched alcohol because she wouldn't dream of trying to get through one of her shows while being hungover, which sounds like a nightmare. And last but not least, she finally broke her silence on her relationship with Travis Kelce. The world was blown away when she showed up to one of Kelce's Chiefs games at Arrowhead Stadium earlier this year, sending fans into a spiral over whether or not they were really dating. But according to her, they were already boyfriend and girlfriend by the time that she went to the game. She said, this all started when Travis very adorably put me on blast on his podcast, which I thought was metal as hell. We started hanging out right after that, so we actually had a significant amount of time that no one knew, which I'm grateful for because we got to get to know each other. So by the time I went to that first game, we were a a couple. She went on to say, "I think some people think that they saw our first date at that game. We would never be psychotic enough to hard launch a first date." But as beloved as her relationship with Kelsey already is, there have been some grumblings from football fans who think the NFL is focusing on her way too much. And in response to that, she said, "I don't know how they know what suite I'm in. There's a camera like a half a mile away and you don't know where it is. And you have no idea when the camera is put on you in the broadcast. So I don't know if I'm being shown 17 times or once." She said that she's just there to support Travis and she has no awareness if she's being shown too much and upsetting a few dads, Brads, and Chads. So Taylor is very well aware of the general surprise that people have shown in response to the public nature of her relationship, especially in comparison to her last long-term romance. In the past few months alone, her and Travis have probably been seen together more times than her and her ex-boyfriend Joe Alwyn ever were over the course of their 6-year relationship. But according to Taylor, there is a really good reason for that. She said, "When you say a relationship is public, that means I'm going to go see him do what he loves. We're showing up for each other and other people are there and we don't care. The opposite of that is you have to go to an extreme amount of effort to make sure that no one knows you're seeing someone. And we're just proud of each other." She went on to explain that over the years, she's learned that she doesn't have the time or bandwidth to get pressed about things that don't matter. She said, "Yes, if I go to dinner, there's going to be a whole chaotic situation outside the restaurant, but I still want to go to dinner with my friends. Life is short, have adventures. Me locking myself away in my house for a lot of years, I'll never get that time back. I'm more trusting now than I was 6 years ago." So that sounds like a great motto to live by, but it is tough to ignore just how different her relationship is from her old one. In comparison to her longest romance with Joe Alwyn, the couple hardly ever came out into the spotlight, and Taylor herself spoke out many times about the importance of keeping her love life private in order to protect it. Over the years, the two of them had to deal with countless rumors that they had secretly gotten engaged and married on the down low, and this speculation reached new heights when Taylor was seen with a large ring on her finger in the documentary Miss Americana. With the release of Lover in 2019, this theory was absolutely everywhere. Joe eventually spoke out about it in an interview, and he said, "If I had a pound for every time I think I've been told I've been engaged, then I'd have a lot of pound coins. I mean, the truth is, if the answer was yes, I wouldn't say. If the answer was no, I wouldn't say." For her part, Taylor addresses speculation in her song Lavender Haze. She said, "Because we live in the era of social media, if the world finds out that you're in love with somebody, they're going to weigh in on it." She explained that she and Joe have had to dodge weird rumors, tabloid stuff, and they just ignore it. So Lavender Haze is about the act of ignoring that stuff to protect the real thing. But despite all of that, she has clearly had the chance to grow and change her mind on the way she feels about publicity. Because she is right. At the end of the day, all of us only have so much time in our lives, and spending all this time hiding from the world is not the best way to spend it. One thing's for sure though, Taylor has had an amazing year. In 2023 alone, she scored 2 #1 hits on the Billboard Hot 100, released 2 Taylor's version re-records, launched her enormously successful Eras tour, premiered her record-breaking concert film in theaters, and picked up 6 Grammy nominations. She also closed out the year with an estimated net worth of $1.1 billion, with Forbes projecting that she had accumulated $500 million from royalties and touring, $500 million from her music catalog, and around $120 million in real estate. She's also 2023's top global artist for both Spotify and Apple Music, as well as Billboard's top artist of the year. And on a social level, she is arguably the most popular that she has ever been. Her high-profile romance with Travis Kelce propelled her cultural exposure into unprecedented heights. And of course, it is clearly making her very, very happy, and that's the main thing.